The first signal came as a whisper in the void, barely detectable against the static of deep space. Dr. Leora Vance stared at the readouts aboard Theodicy, her pulse quickening. It wasn't human, and it wasn't random. It was deliberate, an echo from a civilization long gone, etched across light years like a warning in the dark. She tapped the console, isolating the signal, and another appeared. This one from a system that had been dead for millennia. Then another, and another. Each one carried the same chilling refrain, coded in languages that Leora and her team painstakingly decrypted. One phrase repeated, across species, across time, across the galaxy, they're guarding something worse. The implication struck her like a supernova. Every civilization that had encountered Earth left behind the same caution, their final messages fragmented, desperate, and horrifyingly consistent. Planets that once thrived now lay in ruins, silent monuments to their hubris. Leora could feel the weight of those extinct worlds pressing in through the comms and holographic archives. Her crew gathered, eyes wide as she explained. Every dead civilization, she whispered, voice tight with awe and dread, sent the same warning. Earth isn't ordinary. It's something else entirely. Something they couldn't survive witnessing. They stared at the pale blue dot spinning slowly in their simulations. Home to humanity, apparently quiet, unremarkable, utterly unaware of the danger lurking beneath its surface. Leora ran her fingers over the star charts, tracing the paths of the lost civilizations. Their destruction had been universal, methodical, and terrifyingly precise. A cold shiver ran down her spine. Whatever they were guarding, it had outlived empires, wars, and eons, and now, for the first time in millennia, someone had come close enough to notice. Leora realized with a sinking certainty, discovering the truth about Earth might be humanity's first and last contact with the universe's most ancient secret. Theodicy approached the solar system with careful precision, its sensors scanning for anything unusual. From orbit, Earth appeared serene, a blue and green jewel suspended in darkness. But the readings told a different story. The planet's magnetic field pulsed with irregular energy spikes, faint but unmistakable, like signals buried beneath 1,000 layers of life and history. Leora's fingers danced across the console, zooming in on the anomalies. "These aren't natural," she muttered. "They're deliberate." Her crew peered over her shoulder, unease spreading through the cabin. Energy patterns crisscrossed, the planet's surface and deep subsurface layers, forming grids and geometries that no human civilization could have produced. Underground, vast chambers seemed to stretch for miles, emitting faint pulses of power that suggested machinery, or something far older and more complex. "Could it be a natural phenomenon?" asked Jaren, the ship's physicist, his voice tight. "No," Leora said, her eyes never leaving the scans. "These signatures are too structured, too consistent. And look at the depth, tens of kilometers below the crust. Something's been here long before humans." The crew exchanged nervous glances. The thought of an ancient presence, hidden beneath the surface of their seemingly ordinary home planet, was almost too much to grasp. It wasn't just curiosity that gnawed at them, it was fear. What could possibly have endured eons, remained dormant, and inspired such meticulous warnings from civilizations that had met extinction? As the ship adjusted its orbit, Leora stared at the pale blue dot with a mixture of awe and dread. Humanity lived unaware atop a planetary vault that pulsed with hidden energy, and every signal from dead civilizations had already made it clear. Whatever lay beneath was not to be trifled with. She pressed a hand to her console and whispered, almost to herself, "We need to know what they're guarding, but some truths shouldn't be unearthed." The descent into Earth's subterranean chambers began with cautious anticipation. Leora led a small exploration team in a reinforced shuttle, the hull straining against the gravitational pull as they pierced the crust. From orbit, the planet had seemed tranquil, almost inviting. Now, deep beneath the surface, silence pressed in on them like a living thing. Their lights illuminated cavernous spaces far larger than any human construction could explain. Geometric formations jutted from the walls, glimmering with an energy that defied conventional physics. Strange symbols, identical to those in the warnings of extinct civilizations, pulsed faintly across surfaces, etched deep into rock and metal alike. Jaren touched one of the glyphs, his fingers trembling. "These markings, they're identical to the ones in the signals we intercepted. Every dead civilization saw this." Leora swallowed hard, and yet they never left a way to defeat it, only warnings. As they progressed, the air seemed to thrum, vibrating through the bones of the shuttle and the metal of their suits. Shadows shifted unnaturally along the walls, and a faint, almost imperceptible pressure brushed against their minds. The presence was aware. A low hum grew louder, resonating with the shuttle's instruments. One of the alien artifacts embedded in the chamber walls flared to life, casting a spectral light across the team. Images formed in their minds, visions of civilizations consumed, entire planets falling silent, worlds reduced to ash simply for daring to disturb the Guardian. Leora's breath caught. Whatever had been sleeping here for millennia, whatever had been silently observed by the galaxy, was not inert. It was alive, ancient, and it had survived everything humanity could only imagine. The realization hit them with crushing weight. Earth had never been a sanctuary, nor merely a home. It had always been a tomb. A vault protecting something so vast and dangerous that even the wisest civilizations had failed and perished trying to confront it. The entity revealed itself not through form, but through thought, a presence vast and ancient, folding around the minds of Leora and her crew. It did not speak in words. It spoke in visions, in feelings that crashed through their consciousness like tidal waves. Civilizations rising and falling, stars extinguished, and entire planets swallowed by entropy flashed before their eyes. And always, one refrain repeated, "Do not disturb." Leora staggered, overwhelmed. It knows we're here." "Yes," whispered Jaren, voice trembling. "It's aware of us, and it's judging." The entity's awareness was not malicious. It was sentinel, guardian, and judge all at once. It conveyed the history of every civilization that had stumbled too close, every attempt at interference, every curiosity that had led to extinction. And it offered them a choice, though not in words: leave and preserve life, or awaken fully the consequences of intrusion. The crew exchanged terrified glances. To reveal this to humanity would be to invite catastrophe. To leave meant returning to a universe ignorant of one of its most profound secrets. Leora's mind raced. Could they ever truly contain knowledge of this scale? Could humanity coexist with a force older than the galaxy itself without dooming itself? The visions intensified, a human city rising, machines interfacing with ancient power, and the potential to alter stars, but also the potential to destroy them. The entity's caution was clear. It had survived millennia because civilizations had obeyed the warning. Any attempt to conquer or control it had ended in extinction. Finally, Leora bowed her head in reluctant understanding. To awaken the universe to this truth was unthinkable. To leave it undisturbed was terrifying, yet necessary. She activated the return sequence. The entity receded, its presence lingering like a shadow in the corners of their minds. As the Odyssey ascended from the depths, Leora whispered, "Some truths aren't meant for discovery. Some guardians are meant to remain undisturbed." And for the first time, the crew understood why every dead civilization had left the same warning about Earth. They're guarding something worse.